Let's have a look at the branch and bound method, or simply the BBM method. This method was developed in 1965 by Land and Duhigg and Dakin. It is an enumerative scheme and it can handle both linear as well as non-linear problems. To summarize how this method works is as follows. You first solve the problem as a real value problem or as a continuous variable problem. Obtain the real value solution. So let's say there is only one variable, and for that variable you obtain the value as x equal to 1.2. Based on this real value solution, you branch your problem into two subproblems. One branch will consider the integer to the left of your real value solution. So we will consider x to be smaller than or equal to 1, where 1 is the integer derived from your real value solution. And the second solution would be considering x to be greater than or equal to 2, where the 2 is coming as to the right of your variable. So now you have split your problem into two subproblems and you will find solution to each of these subproblems separately. So this particular process is known as branching. As you proceed, you will obtain some of the solutions. Some of the solutions will be integer value solutions. Some of them will be non-integer solutions. For integer solutions, whatever optimum value you obtain, the minimum among them would be considered as one of the bound for your further investigation. So that is why the name bound in this particular method. Once you have evaluated a particular node and you understand that there is no point in going ahead as you will not get a better solution, then that particular node is considered as fathomed, or it has been judged as dead end for that particular branch of the problem. And a term, the fathom, is used in this particular method in that particular sense. So you have branching, you have bounding, and you have something known as fathoming. Let's now look at the complete flowchart of this method, which will explain this algorithm. The algorithm looks as shown here. The first step in this algorithm is to solve the problem as a non-integer, all variables considering as non-integer, and obtain a real value solution. So whatever solution you obtain and the objective function you obtain, that is the best possible it is there. When you when you obtain the best integer solution, it can never exceed the real value solution that you obtain. So for example, let's say in your solution, you have only two variables, and for the sake of simplicity, and the first variable is having value 1.2 and the second variable is taking value 3.7. For example, these are the solutions that you obtain. As you proceed along this flow chart, you have to choose one of the variables to do the branching. So it could be either x1 or x2. It can be done either randomly, or if you have some insight of the problem, you can choose a particular variable which will give you faster solution. So here let's take x1 as the variable which we want to proceed further. So since x1 value is equal to 1.2, I will have to choose two integers on either side of this x1, so which are 1 and 2. So I will consider two paths. The first path is x1 is smaller than 1 and the second is x1 is greater than or equal to 2. So these are the two branches that I form at this particular point, keeping the x2 variable as it is. So you include an additional constraint. So it is important that in these new branches, each of the branch has got a new additional constraint. On the left branch, you are having an additional constraint that x1 should be less than or equal to 1. And on the right hand side branch, you are having the constraint x2 should be greater than or equal to 2. Solve each of the branch. So you solve each of the branch separately. You will get again two solutions to your problem. So this particular section is known as branching. So this is the branching part of the algorithm. The next part is the fathoming part, or where you are taking decision as to whatever nodes you have reached. So from the original real value node, you have reached at 2 branch nodes. So at this node, you have to take the decision. So that decision is taken based on the criteria which are listed in this particular box. In order to make it visible, I will just expand it so that you can read it. So here we are checking, does the solution meet any of the following criteria? So we are looking at some criteria which are to be met at this particular point. So let me rub off the earlier writing. Okay, so what I am looking here is one of the 3 things. If it is met, then that node can be considered as fathomed, or there is no further point in proceeding along that particular point. First is that the solution has got all integer variables as integers. That is, if x1 is an integer variable, and after along this path you will find that the x1 value happens to be 3, then that particular point, and along with x1 equal to 3, x2 has also to be integer. So all integer variables are to be integers, not only a single variable, but all variables have to be taken as integers values. So in that case, that particular node can be considered as fathomed. The other check, or the other case in which the node can be fathomed, is there is no solution for this particular case. So for whatever combination or the node you are arrived at, if it is exceeding all the constraints, for example, in that case there is no feasible solution in that for that particular case, and then you can fathom that node, and that is you need not proceed along that particular branch. And the third is the objective function value is not better than the current based function values. So in the previously whatever nodes you have fathomed, that is the first condition, some of the earlier nodes might have got all integer solutions. So in that case, you will have their objective function values as the criteria. If your current node is giving solution which is higher than what you have previously obtained, considering this as a minimization problem, so in that case, we say that this particular node, there is no point in proceeding along this particular branch, and then that particular node will be considered as fathomed. So in that particular sense, we proceed further. So when we proceed further, we will have the proceed as follows. So if a particular node is fathomed, then the objective function value that you obtained for that particular node will be stored for further reference. So you have found a new solution which is feasible. It is having all integer solution, and it is having objective function value which is the smallest till now that you have found out. So in that case, you store that particular value, or you can discard if it is an infeasible node or it is having value which is higher than the earlier found. In case after doing this one of the branch, you will find a solution which is still non-integer. That is, you cannot fathom the node in either of the earlier criteria. So in that case, you have to continue branching. So you go back to your earlier route, start branching. So from that particular solution, you again find out the real value solution that you have obtained, find 2 integers which are to the right and left of that integer, and again start branching. So in this particular manner, you start expanding your solutions. You will get multiple branches. Each of the branch, either you have to find out whether it is fathomed, or if it is not fathomed, then you have to branch it. And you have to always check whatever nodes are fathomed and are giving integer solutions, whether they are creating a new bound to your solution. Once all nodes are fathomed, so that is the last part, when all the nodes are fathomed, you terminate the solution, and whatever list value all integer solution you have obtained, that is treated as the solution to this particular problem. So that is how this particular algorithm works. Let's take an example of from linear programming problem and understand how this particular algorithm is implemented.